10 football fields. That's the area the Labyrinth of Herodotus occupied, according to descriptions by ancient historians. It's hard to believe that such a grand structure couldn't be found for centuries, even though its location was indicated by the ancient geographer Strabo 2,000 years ago. According to his account, the labyrinth was near Lake Moeris, 80 kilometers southwest of Cairo. In 2008, a team of archaeologists from Belgium and Egypt headed there. No one could have predicted that this expedition would end with a sensational discovery that would disappoint the scientists. The research team worked near the Faiyum Oasis, which was once one of the most important centres of ancient Egypt. Around the 19th century BCE, Pharaoh Amenhotep III built the city of Shrouded on the site of an artificial lake in the Faiyum Oasis, which allowed for the storage of water to irrigate the lands of Egypt. Thanks to this, Egypt earned the name Tkemet, meaning the Black Land. The Greeks called this city Crocodilopolis because it was a centre of the cult of the ancient Egyptian god of water and the Nile inundation, Sobek. He was depicted with the head of a reptile. According to legend, the labyrinths mentioned by Herodotus were built in honour of Sobek. Rumours circulated that in the largest and most beautiful hall, a live crocodile was kept. It was worshipped as a deity. Another version suggests the labyrinth served as the residence of the Egyptian pharaohs. However, most researchers believe it was a mortuary temple with a burial chamber for pharaohs and sacred animals. To consolidate society and the various regions of Egypt, special sanctuaries were created, which were united into what the Greek historian Herodotus later called a labyrinth. Each room had a unique atmosphere dedicated to a specific deity, each representing a particular aspect of Egyptian life or a specific nome or region of Egypt. In 1843, the German archaeologist Karl Lepsius was the first to attempt to find the labyrinth. He decided that excavations should be conducted near the Pyramid of Amenemhat III, built south of Crocodilopolis. This location matched the descriptions of ancient historians. Herodotus had also mentioned a pyramid to which the labyrinth was attached. Herodotus describes the labyrinth as still intact. He writes that he managed to visit these chambers and notes how difficult it was to find the way out without a guide. During excavations at the base of the pyramid, Karl Lepsius discovered the remains of columns, which he declared to be the ruins of the legendary labyrinth. However, his find did not impress the scientific community. Half a century later, British archaeologist Flinders Petrie followed the same route to refute his German colleague's discovery, but instead only confirmed it. He found several massive stone slabs. Petrie took them for the foundation of the ancient labyrinth and did not dig further. For many decades, research was abandoned because Petrie was convinced that the remains of the walls, ceiling and columns could no longer be found, as they had been reused in other constructions. According to legend, the Labyrinth of Herodotus was destroyed and plundered in ancient times by the inhabitants of the neighbouring city of Heracleopolis. They were staunch opponents of the cult of the crocodile god Sobek. In the Middle Ages, the labyrinth's ruins were used as a quarry. Nothing remains of the grand structure to this day, or rather, nothing of its above-ground part. But if Herodotus's records are to be believed, the labyrinth had at least 2 levels. In his work, he describes that the labyrinth and its chambers were not only on the surface, but also underground. Friends, I would like to recommend you a channel where you will find historical documentaries and deep dives into the past. From ancient civilizations and forgotten legends to historical secrets and untold stories, we bring history to life with expert narration and stunning visuals. Explore the history of ancient empires, historical figures, and rare historical facts, revealing the secrets of the past. The link to the channel will be in the description under this video. So, Flinders Petrie found not the foundation, but the roof of the labyrinth or the remains of its ceilings. In 2008, An international team of archaeologists confirmed this. The researchers concluded that the main part of the labyrinth might be hidden beneath layers of sand. Ground-penetrating radar scanning revealed that at depths of 8 to 12 meters, there are hundreds of underground chambers with massive walls. To confirm the existence of the legendary labyrinth, all that remained was to penetrate inside. But it was here that the archaeologists faced their greatest disappointment. The Egyptian authorities, without explanation, banned further excavations at the site. The Egyptian Ministry of Antiquities is highly wary of foreign archaeologists. This is due to Egypt's historical experience, where during the 19th and 20th centuries, foreigners, under the guise of scholars, literally plundered Egyptian treasures, massively removing obelisks, columns, and even stone sphinxes. In the 19th and 20th centuries, the theft of artifacts was often not considered stealing. Many believed they were preserving Egyptian treasures for science by relocating them, for example, to the British Museum. One theory suggests that excavations of the Faiyum labyrinth are hindered by the high groundwater level. Draining such a vast area would require colossal resources. The Egyptian authorities are not yet ready to spend money on this. Meanwhile, scientists are sounding the alarm, as groundwater could simply destroy this unique archaeological monument. The water in Egypt contains a high amount of salt and other chemical reagents that can erode stone structures and statues. As it seeps into cavities underground beneath the sand, particularly into the chambers of the Faiyum labyrinth, it could destroy not only the wall frescoes, but also the structures themselves. What was once a complete building could essentially turn to sand over a few centuries. For now, Egyptologists have only created a computer reconstruction of the labyrinth built over 4,000 years ago. However, scientists have not lost hope of one day penetrating the grand underground complex. The main thing is that by then, something more than just walls remains.